Hi there, I am Aman and you're watching PTO classes. So, in this video, we are going to study subject verb agreement. So, in the previous video, we have learned the models, the model auxiliaries, and in this video, we are going to learn subject verb agreement. So far we have already done tenses, and in future we are going to do the determiners, prepositions and conjunctions, and after completion of all these we will head to the gap filling and editing. Gap filling and editing is the most important topic of your grammar for grade 9th and 10th, especially in both these classes, especially in both classes. In the question paper, the question of gap filling and editing always comes, and this is the question where most of the students gets their marks deducted. But if you have learned your grammar concepts well enough, so you will not have any problem in doing those exercises. So all the exercises that we are doing, uh, for example, the current topic, subject verb agreement, the previous topics, the tenses or the modal auxiliaries, or the coming topics like determiners, a and the, all that, and the prepositions, conjunctions, and in future, in the after the half yearlies, we will do the active passive voice and direct indirect speech. All these grammar topics are important in doing those kind of exercises like gap filling, editing, rearrange the sentences or the jumble sentences, jumble words. So those exercises we do only if we have our grammar concepts clear, and these topics we study, and therefore we easily crack our exercises, the editing exercises. Mostly people face difficulty in doing the exercises because they don't concentrate on the topics, they don't concentrate on the concepts, they just go and try and attempt the exercises. If you don't have the concepts clear, then you will not be able to do any exercise. So the important thing is to have your concepts clear, and in these videos we are learning the topics which are important for doing the exercises which are coming in your exam, which will come in your exams. So let's come to our today's topic, that is subject verb agreement. So what the topic means, what the topic is trying to convey. Let us take a look. The word agreement is there. So what is agreement? A kind of agreement. You must have seen the agreements that are written, context, the return paperwork that we do in two parties, that is done between two parties so that they come to a conclusion, they come to a deal. So agreement is here means the same, that is between the two parties, that is the subject and the verb. They are not people, they are the grammar terms like the subject and the verb. So what is the agreement between those two things of grammar, the subject and the verb? I will explain. So subject verb agreement simply means the subject and verb must agree in number. Let me elaborate. This means both needed to be either singular or plural. For example, if your subject is singular, then your verb must be singular. And if your subject is plural, so the verb will obviously be plural. So this is called subject verb agreement. Generally we commit a lot of mistakes while framing our sentences, and we will see in the lecture that how this concept works, and then you will have a you will have a clear look at what are the mistakes that you have been committing over a period of time, and you didn't even know that you were doing something wrong, you were saying something wrong, because it looks very correct if we don't go into the grammatical terms. But if we read, if we study grammar properly, then we come to a realization that subject verb agreement is very essential, and we have been so wrong in framing our sentences. So subject verb agreement deals with the number, uh, that if the subject is in singular form, then the verb will be singular. If the subject is in plural form, the verb will be plural. So let's take a look in what subject verb agreement is, and how we should frame our sentences, and what are the important, what are the golden rules of subject verb agreement. See, subject verb agreement, the basic principle of subject verb agreement is that singular subjects need singular verbs. The thing that I've told you in the previous slide, that the basic principle about subject verb agreement is that if the subject is in singular form, then it requires the singular verbs. See the example, the girl is playing. Here the subject is girl and the verb is playing. So the main verb is playing, but the modal verb, as you can see, is the helping verb rather is. So the girl is playing. Now see the next sentence, the girls are playing. So the helping verb are is used here, and we can see that when the subject is in singular form, the verb is singular, and when the subject is in plural form, the verb is also in plural form. So it is clear that how we frame our sentences. If the subject is in singular, the verb will obviously be singular. For example, the dog is barking. The dogs are barking. So when the subject is singular, the action, the verb is singular. The helping verb is singular. Now take a look into take a deep look into this, and we will see that how we frame our sentences, and very confusing things are there in relation to the subject verb agreement, and I will try to clear your doubts, clear your confusions regarding the same. So let's take a look into a chart so that we can easily understand subject verb agreement. Now see, here we have written few nouns, we have written pronouns, and we have written the verb form for those. So the subject verb agreement will be seen here. See, first there are few nouns. Monkey is there, boy is there, car is there, shirt is there, lady is there, grandfather, and mark. So when the noun is in singular form, monkey, the verb is also singular, that is eats. I think that most of you would be knowing this thing, but if someone is not aware about it, let me clear it. See, when the verb is without s, it is plural, and when the verb has s in it, it is singular. See, eats is singular, walks is singular, eat is plural, walk is plural. So these are the plural or singular form of verbs. When we put an s with the verb, it becomes singular, not plural. So don't get confused with it. So the monkey, which is a singular subject, is with when the monkey is put into a sentence, we will use the verb with s. The monkey, which is singular, so the verb will also be singular. The monkey eats, the boy walks, the car goes, the shirt looks nice, the lady speaks well, he has an umbrella, she lives nearby. Okay. Similarly, see in the next row: monkeys, boys, cars, shirts, ladies, grandparents, Mark and Anna. See, monkeys eat, boys walk, cars go, shirts look nice, ladies speak well, grandparents live here, Mark and Anna are living here, or Mark and Anna live here. When there was a singular person, singular noun Mark, there was Mark lives nearby. Here Mark and Anna live nearby. So often we get confused that when see, for example, grandparents is there, we often frame a sentence like grandparents lives nearby the station, but it is wrong. What we have to do instead: grandparents live nearby, because live is the plural verb, whereas lives is the singular verb. We often do this mistake, and now I think it is clear to you that the singular verb form always has s in it, and the plural verb doesn't have a s. So now take a look at some pronouns: he, she, it. They are singular pronouns. He eats, she walks, it looks nice. Okay. Now see the plural pronouns: we and they. We is used for more than a number of people, more than a single person. So we eat our lunch together. They walk very fast. And now you must have a very big confusion about why we have put I and you here. I and you are singular pronouns. They are not plural. But in many instances, the singular pronouns I and you are put together with the plural verbs. I eat, you walk, I go, you live here. Okay. So in some of the instances, I and you are put with the singular verb, but in some of the cases we have seen that we put I and you with the plural verb. So I and you are exceptions. So make this chart in your fair notebook and write the thing written underneath the chart. So you have to write down everything that is there in the slide. Now we will see that what are some important rules of subject-verb agreement. So the first and foremost, the most important rule of subject-verb agreement is: when two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, the verb must be singular. So the important rule of this topic is, the first rule is, when two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, when they are referring to a similar thing or person, the verb must be in singular form. Take a look at the example. my sister and friend has come. So have is the plural form and has is the singular. So we will use the singular. Here we have two subjects, but don't get confused. We don't have to put the plural verb here, the helping verb here, but we have to put the singular one. Don't get confused that there are two subjects, my sister and friend. We will not write that my sister and friend have come. This is a very basic mistake that most of us commit, that is mostly committed by us. The mistake that we put the plural form of verb with two subjects. But when two subjects or two nouns are referring to the same thing, to the same topic, they are referring to the same thing, they have the singular verb form. My sister and friend has come, not have come. Got it? First rule is clear. So this is a very important rule of subject verb agreement. Note down all the rules and please do revise them. If you learn these rules, then it will help you in life, because whenever you are going for a competitive exam, even after the school, when you will appear for a competitive exam, the editing questions, the gap filling questions, often it comes and we get confused there because our concepts are not clear. So if you will learn these golden rules, then you will have an ease in appearing in those exams as well. So now take a look at the second rule. When two subjects are joined by as well as or along with or with, the verb agrees with the first subject. So when two subjects, two nouns, or a noun or pronoun are joined by as well as or along with or with, the verb agrees with the first subject. See, the topic is subject verb agreement. So the verb is agreeing to the first subject. So if the first subject is in plural form, the verb will be plural. If the first subject is in singular form, the verb will be singular. See, the king along with his friends has arrived. So see, the first subject was in singular form, so the verb is also singular. But if it would have been in plural, the kings along with their friend have arrived. Okay, got it? Here the second subjects are in plural form, but the first one is in singular, so we have our verb in the singular form. If it would have been the kings along with their friend have arrived, it would have been have arrived instead of has arrived. Okay, got it? So these two rules, is it clear to you? So these important first two rules, you must note it down in your notebooks and please do revise them. Now coming to the third rule, two or more singular subjects joined by and take a plural verb. So when two or more singular subjects are joined by and take a plural verb. See the example. He and I are brothers. He and I, as I've told you through the chart, are singular pronouns, but they are joined by and. So they have been joined by and, so they have become one, and now their form is plural. So the verb will also be plural. So he and I are brothers. He and I is brother is incorrect. So this rule is also very important. Now coming to the fourth rule, either, neither, each, every and everyone are followed by a singular verb. So this point especially of this chapter, I have also learned through this chapter only in while my teaching days only, because earlier I was also committing the same mistake with everyone, with the with the word everyone. I was also committing the same mistake, but now it is clear to me also that whenever either, neither, each, every, and everyone, there will be a singular verb. See the word everyone, here we think that it is plural, because everyone, we are talking about lot of people, so we think that it will have a plural verb, but it is not so. See the example, each. For example, each here, if we are taking each, so we think that we are talking about a group, so it is not the case. See, each of the boys was given a prize. We have not used were, but we have used was. See, neither of the students was absent. So don't get confused that we are talking about group of people, but remember this rule, and that is why I am saying that you must write it down and you must revise them thoroughly. You must read them thoroughly, because it will help you in clearing your doubts. So whenever the words like either, neither, each, every, and everyone are there, you will put a singular verb. Got it? So now the fifth rule. When a plural noun expresses some specific quantity, when a plural noun expresses some specific quantity or amount considered as a whole, the verb is singular. So are you getting it? When a plural noun, we have learned that when plural subject is there, we will have plural verb. But see, when it is expressing some specific quantity, when we know the amount, that this amount is there, and it is considered as a whole, it is taken as a single unit, so the verb will be singular. See, the specific amount is mentioned in the example. 3 kilometers is a small distance. So here see, 3 kilometers, we think that it is a plural. So plural, yes, it is a plural noun, but it is a plural subject. But see that we have used the singular verb because it is taken as whole. It is considered as a whole. We have specified the quantity, the amount of the distance that we have to cover. So 3 kilometers are a small distance, so it is not correct. So 3 kilometers is a small distance. Clear? So now you have understood that whenever the quantity is mentioned in specific terms, when we are cleared about the amount or the quantity, so we will use singular verb, and if it is considered as a whole. Okay, so these were your first 5 rules. Now let us take a look into some other rules. Sorry. Now see the 6th rule. The verb agrees with the number of the nouns that follow the verb. The verb agrees with the number of the nouns that follow the verb in case of introductory there. If the nouns are followed by the verb and the verb agrees with the number of nouns that are following the verb, and if it is introduced by there, then it agrees with the number of nouns that are there. If the numbers of nouns, the number of noun is in singular term, then it will be singular, and if it is not so, then plural. See, there is a girl sitting in the class. So when you're agreeing with the noun, so it is singular. So it is clear that when the number of nouns that is following the verb is in singular form, then it will be a singular verb. But if it is in plural form, the verb will be plural. So the example is suggesting the same. There are 50 boys in the class. There is a girl sitting next to me. So got it? Now let's take a look into the seventh rule, the seventh golden rule of subject-verb agreement. Some nouns which are plural in form but singular in meaning take a singular verb. So when the noun which are plural in form but singular in meaning takes a singular verb. Take a look into the example and it will be clear to you in a better way. See, economics is a dull subject. Here the noun is in plural form because it is having an s at the last, but its meaning is in singular. So the verb will be singular. See, economics is a single subject. We call it economics because it contains all the things about economy. So all the factors of economy are there. So we call it economics. But it is obviously it is in plural form. But its meaning is singular. We are talking about only one subject. So the verb will be singular as well. So this is a golden rule. See the rule, write it in your notebook and try to learn it. That whenever no matter the noun is in plural form or singular, if its meaning is in singular, the verb will be used in singular form. So clear? The seventh rule of subject-verb agreement. Now coming to the eighth rule, which is a plural noun which is the name of a country or province or the title of a book is followed by a singular verb. A plural noun, when the noun is in plural form, and if it is the name of a country or province is a town. So province or the title of a book, it is followed by a singular verb. The Arabian Nights, it is a very interesting book, the story of Aladdin and Jasmine. So the Arabian Nights has interesting stories. See, Nights is there, the Arabian Nights, but it is the title of a book, maybe of a show also, you can say. The title of something is there and it is in plural form, but it will be followed by a singular verb. The Arabian Nights have interesting stories is incorrect. We will use the Arabian Nights has interesting stories. Got it? So these were the 8 golden rules. Now we will take a look into the other rules. There are in totality 14 rules. We have covered 8 rules. Now see the 9th rule, notebooks and read collective them nouns like group. Collective nouns, you all are aware with collective nouns. This you must be studying in your junior classes till 8th. You must have been studying them. So I am sure that you all aware with the collective nouns, the kind of nouns. So the collective nouns like group, crowd, flock, regiment, herd, all these are generally followed by a singular verb. So it is a collective noun, so it is talking about a group or a crowd, but it will be followed by a singular verb. See the example. A crowd of people rushes into the hall. As I have said that whenever the verb has s or es, it will be considered it will be a singular verb. But if it is in without s or es, it is plural. So a crowd of people rushes into the hall. So clear? When collective nouns are there, we will use singular verb. Now coming to the 10th rule, when the subject consists of one of plus plural noun, the verb will be singular. When the subject is containing one of the teacher, one of the teachers, one of the students, one of my friends, so, and it is having the plural noun, as I have told you, one of the teachers, one of my friends, so it will have a singular verb. See the example. One of the students was talking. Here students is plural, but we have used one of with it, so the verb will be singular. This is a very important point, and many questions come in your exam with this one of, so you must note it down and you must read it carefully. So whenever one of is used with a plural noun, the verb will be singular. Now take a look at the 11th point. Some nouns which appear to be singular in form take a plural verb. Some nouns which are appearing to be singular in form. Some nouns that are considered as singular, they take a plural verb. See, the police have arrested 3 terrorists. See, the police, it is appearing to be a singular noun. The police, it appears to be a singular noun, but it takes the help of a plural verb. The police have arrested 3 terrorists. So got it? When the nouns are appearing to be singular, but it takes the help of a plural verb. There are exceptions to it. So see, the example is there, and so many are there like this. So you must keep this point in mind. Now coming to the 12th point. After this, only 2 points are remaining. 2 rules are remaining. So we will quickly take a look at this. 12th rule, class nouns such as food, furniture, clothing, etc. take a singular verb. When the gender is not clear, so we take the singular verb. See, this furniture is very old. We don't use R in it. The food is very tasty. The clothing is very costly. Got it? So now let's take a look into the 13th point. Some nouns which appear to be plural in form when preceded by a pair of take a singular verb. So see, this point is very important. You see it very carefully, watch it very carefully. Some nouns which appear to be in plural form, but when they are preceded by a pair of, when a pair of is used before them, they take a singular verb. Example, shoes, it is a plural noun. Scissors, trousers, it is in plural form, but when we have used a pair of before them, so the verb will be singular. See, a pair of shoes was bought by him. A pair of shoes were bought by him is incorrect. When we are using a pair of before some nouns that appear to be plural, we use the singular verb. But there is an exception to this rule. Let's take a look. But when these nouns are used without a pair of, they take a plural verb. See the example. His shoes have worn out. Earlier we have used a pair of shoes. Now we don't have a pair of. We have just used shoes. So we will have the plural verb. Got it? So this was your important rule, 13th rule. So keep this in mind while doing the exercises of editing, gap filling, etc. So you must learn these 14 rules very thoroughly. So I strictly advise you to read them very carefully. Now the last rule of your subject verb agreement, and with this we are going to conclude our topic. So take a look. A collective noun such as jury, committee, family, etc. takes a singular verb when considered one unit. When the collective nouns are considered to be a unit, this point we have mentioned earlier also. So a collective noun, when it is taken to be a single unit, one unit, so the verb will be singular. But when they are regarded as individuals, they take a plural verb. Take a look at the example. The jury is about to give its decision. So here we are referring to the jury as a unit. The jury, which consists of a large number of people, but we are saying that it is going to give a decision. So we are referring to it as a unit. So we have used the verb is. So see, the jury is about to give its decision. Now see the other example. The jury are divided in their opinion. Now we are referring to the jury specifically to their members of the jury. We are talking about the members that are present in the jury. The jury are divided in their opinion. So the important thing is that we consider the meaning of the noun, that whether it is taken as a single, as an individual, or it is taken as a unit. So it is very important to keep a track of it. So these were your 14 golden rules of subject verb agreement, and it is very useful in understanding grammar and in doing the exercises of gap filling, editing, etc. So this will be very helpful for you if you will appear in competitive exams in future also after school, and in boards also. It is very handy when you will give your boards. It will be very useful to you. So I hope you have understood the lesson, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends if you like the video, and if you have any confusion, please write in the comment box, or you can just message me. And you have to note down all the 14 rules and the definition of subject verb agreement in your fair notebook, in your grammar notebook. So thank you so much for watching the video.